Welcome dear friends to my video lecture on Unit 1 Education Studies Part B. I wanted to give everything in one full video but I could not do due to the technological problem yesterday. But the remaining portion I am giving just now. Thank you for your support. So many of you have watched Part 1. I'm really thankful to you. Continue to support me so that I'm able to give more and more videos for you. I'm sure that will be of great help to you later on in your life, even to crack NET exam in the coming NET exam on August. I'm sure it will be a great help to you. Most welcome to give your suggestions also, so that I'm able to understand your needs. Accordingly, I can prepare nice videos for you. So I'm just dedicating my time and energy. I'm doing some work given by the Society of Jesus. At the same time, I would like to give the remaining time and energy for the education students. In general, all the students, both paper 1 and paper 2 education I am giving. I have already given so many videos in my YouTube channel named jesueasy. If you go through the playlist, you will find Tamil videos, English videos, bilingual videos, and every sort of video that I have prepared. So far I have prepared, some 50 videos for 45 first paper videos, and the remaining, some 20 or 25 paper 2 videos. I'm just go on uploading new videos for you till the exam is over. I'm sure I'll be able to give more videos in the days to come also. I request you to go through all these videos so that you are able to benefit a lot for the sake of this exam. Valuable ideas are there, valuable questions are there, and so many videos I have given. Kindly go through all of them in my YouTube channel. I'm sure it will have great help to you. So many have passed in the past. My students, in my college have passed in this NET, SET, etc. due to the guidance given by us, given by me, given by my professors, everything. So I'm sure this is a valuable material for you. Let us straight away enter into the topic. So yesterday we were talking about Marxist philosophy. Just we will add some more questions also. What is the primary goal of humanistic theory in education? A. To create autonomous learners. B. To create socially responsible citizens. C. To create lifelong learners. D. To create environments in which students can excel. So the correct answer will be to create autonomous learners. Humanistic theory in education holds that the primary goal of education should be to create autonomous learners who are capable of making decisions and solving problems on their own. This is opposed to the behaviorist view, which states that the primary goal of education should be to create environments in which students can excel. So there are two different things, humanistic theory and behaviorist theory. What is the main tenet of critical theory in education? A. To challenge the status quo. B. To promote social justice. C. To critique existing power dynamics. D. To create autonomous learners. The correct answer will be, I think you would have guessed it already, to promote social justice. Critical theory in education holds that the primary goal of education should be to promote social justice. This is opposed to the behaviorist view, which states that the primary goal of education should be to create environments in which students can excel. What is the main tenet of existentialism theory in education? A. To create lifelong learners. B. To promote self-actualization. C. To foster creativity. D. To challenge the status quo. That is to promote self-actualization. The main principle of existentialism theory in education is self-actualization. Existentialism theory in education holds that the primary goal of education should be to promote self-actualization. Right. Next one, what is the view of Marxist philosophy on the role of the teacher in education. That is to act as the facilitator of learning, not anything else. To impart knowledge to students, to act as a disciplinarian, to promote traditional values. They may belong to other philosophical systems. But to act as a facilitator of learning is the Marxist philosophy on the role of the teacher. According to Marxist philosophy, the role of the teacher is to act as a facilitator of learning, not to impart knowledge or act as a disciplinarian. The teacher is seen as a guide who helps the student develop the critical thinking skills and become an independent learner. What is the relationship between education and social class according to Marxist philosophy? Read for yourself the options. Education should be used to challenge the existing social class divisions. That is the correct answer. Education, according to Marxist philosophy, education should be used to challenge the existing social class divisions. According to Marxist philosophy, education should be used to challenge the existing social class divisions and promote the interest of the working class. Education should be used to empower the working class and provide them with the skills and knowledge they need to liberate themselves from oppressive social and economic systems. What is the Marxist view on the purpose of assessment in education? A. To measure learning. B. To encourage competition. C. To promote traditional values. D. To maintain social class divisions. That is to measure learning. According to Marxist philosophy, assessment should be used to measure learning, not to encourage competition or maintain social class divisions. Assessment should focus on the learning outcomes of the student and provide them with feedback on their progress. What is the Marxist view on the role of the state in education? A. To provide financial support. B. To promote traditional values. C. To promote equal access to education. D. To maintain social class divisions. That is to provide equal access to education. According to Marxist philosophy, the role of the state in education is to provide equal access to education for all members of society. The state should ensure that education is available and accessible to the working class, and it is not used as a tool to maintain social class divisions. Education should not be helpful for social class divisions. That is the idea here. What is the Marxist view on the relationship between education and social change? See for yourself the options. Education should be used to empower the working class. Education should be used to empower the working class. According to Marxist philosophy, education should be used to empower the working class and provide them with the knowledge and skills they need to liberate themselves from oppressive social and economic systems. Education should be used to promote social change and challenge existing social class divisions. What is the Marxist view on the role of technology in education? A. To promote traditional values. B. To maintain social class divisions. C. To make education more efficient. D. To provide equal access to education. According to Marxist philosophy, technology should be used to make education more efficient and accessible to all members of society. Technology should not be used to maintain social class divisions or promote traditional values, but should instead be used to empower the working class and make education more accessible to all. What is the Marxist view on the relationship between education and the economy? Just see for yourself all the four options. Education should be used to challenge existing economic systems. According to Marxist philosophy, education should be used to challenge existing economic systems and promote economic growth. Education should also be used to reduce inequality and empower the working class by providing them with the knowledge and skills they need to liberate themselves from oppressive social and economic systems. What is the Marxist view on the relationship between education and culture? Education should be used to challenge existing cultural norms. According to Marxist philosophy, education should be used to challenge existing cultural norms and promote the interest of the working class. Education should be used to empower the working class by providing them with the knowledge and skills they need to liberate themselves from oppressive social and economic systems. Now we are going for section C. What are the topics here? And we will be giving only the question and answers and explanations. Approaches to sociology of education. There we talk about symbolic interaction, structural functionalism and conflict theory. Concept and types of social institutions and their functions. Family, school and society. Then concept of social movements. Theories of social movements. Relative deprivation theory, resource mobilization theory, political process theory and new social movement theory. So let us just enter into the question bank for all these subheadings. What is the main idea behind symbolic interactionism? What do you mean by symbolic interactionism? Of course, you would have guessed by now, people create their own reality through their interactions with others. That is the idea. By interacting with others, people find meaning in their life or they create their own reality. Likewise, in the school, by interacting with other students, any student will create his own reality for himself. So that is the idea of symbolic interactionism. So symbolic interactionism is a sociological theory that states that people create their own reality through their interactions with others. It emphasizes the importance of symbols, language and meaning in understanding social behavior. What is the primary focus of symbolic interactions? A. Social structures. B. Social change. C. Social interaction. D. Social norms. That is social interaction. Symbolic interactionism is a sociological theory that focuses on the study of social interaction. It emphasizes the importance of symbols, language, and meaning in understanding social behavior. What is the main concept of the looking glass self? A. Self-reflection. B. Self-image. C. Self-awareness. D. Self-esteem. So it talks about the self-image, that is a looking glass self. Self-image. The looking glass self is a concept developed by Charles Horton Cooley that states that people's self-image is shaped by how they think others perceive them. It emphasizes the importance of social interaction in the formation of self-image. That is the idea here, self-image. Looking glass self is nothing but self-image of the individuals. What is the main idea behind the dramaturgical approach? Dramaturgical approach. There are four options. People act differently in different social situations. People create their own reality through their interactions with others. C. Social structures are determined by economic forces. D. Social change is driven by technological advances. What is the correct answer? People act differently in different social situations. The dramaturgical approach is a sociological theory developed by Erving Goffman that states that people act differently in different social situations. It emphasizes the importance of symbols, language and meaning in understanding social behavior. What is the primary focus of Thomas theorem? A. Social interaction. B. Social norms. C. Social reality. D. Social change. That is social reality. The Thomas theorem is a sociological theory developed by William Isaac Thomas that states that if men define situations as real, they are real in their consequences. That is the Thomas theorem. If men define situations as real, they are real in their consequences. It emphasizes the importance of social interaction in the formation of social reality. What is the primary focus of the dramaturgical approach? Social interaction, that is the primary focus of this approach. Dramaturgical approach. Dramaturgical approach is a sociological theory developed by Erving Goffman that states that people act differently in different social situations. It emphasizes the importance of symbols, language and meaning in understanding social behavior. What is the main concept of symbolic interactionism? There are 4 alternatives given. Kindly go through that. That is, people create their own reality through their interactions with others. Symbolic interactionism is a sociological theory that states that people create their own reality through their interactions with others. It emphasizes the importance of symbols, language and meaning in understanding social behavior. What is the main goal of symbolic interactionism in educational sociology? To understand the role of social interaction in education. Symbolic interactionism in educational sociology seeks to understand the role of social interaction in the educational process. It focuses on how individuals interact with each other in educational settings and how these interactions shape their learning experiences. That is the idea here. So, symbolic interactionism in educational sociology seeks to understand the role of social interaction in the educational process. It focuses on how individuals interact with each other in educational settings and how these interactions shape their learning experiences. Then structural functionalism. What is the main focus of structural functionalism in educational sociology? There are 4 options given here. A. The role of education in maintaining social order. B. The role of education in promoting social change. C. The role of education in creating social inequality. D. The role of education in creating social mobility. So what is the correct answer here for this question? What is the main focus of structural functionalism in educational sociology? That is, the role of education in maintaining social order. So maintaining social order goes along with structural functionalism. Structural functionalism in educational sociology focuses on the role of education in maintaining social order by providing a shared set of values and beliefs that are passed down from generation to generation. So I think the key theme is this one. Structural functionalism talks about social order, maintaining social order at different level, even in schools. What is the structural functionalism in schools? There is nothing but maintaining social order in the school itself. That is the idea given. How it is done? It provides a shared set of values and beliefs that are passed out, that are transformed from generation to generation. What is the main goal of structural functionalism in educational sociology? A. To create social change, to promote social mobility. C. To maintain social order. D. To create social inequality. That is to maintain social order. Structural functionalism in educational sociology seeks to maintain social order by providing a shared set of values and beliefs that are passed down from generation to generation. What is the main focus of structural functionalism in educational sociology? The same idea, again and again it is repeated. Nothing else is there. The main focus is this social order, that's all. The role of education in maintaining social order. So structural functionalism in educational sociology focuses on the role of education in maintaining social order. How it is done? By providing a shared set of values and beliefs that are passed on from generation to generation. Then conflict theory. What is the main focus of conflict theory in educational sociology? There are 4 options given. Let us choose the best one. A. The power dynamics between teachers and students. B. The impact of social class on educational outcomes. C. The role of technology in the classroom. D. The relationship between education and economic inequality. What is the main focus of conflict theory in educational sociology? That is A. What is that? The power dynamics between teachers and students. Conflict theory in educational sociology focuses on the power dynamics between different social classes and how they affect educational outcomes. It examines how economic inequality can lead to unequal access to educational resources and opportunities. So, injustice within the school system. Conflict theory talks about injustice within the school system. Yeah, this is how we have to understand the main theme of this conflict theory. What is the main goal of conflict theory in educational settings? Educational sociology. What is the main goal of conflict theory in education, in other words? To understand the relationship between education and the economic inequality. Conflict theory in educational sociology seeks to understand the power dynamics between different social classes and how they affect educational outcomes. It examines how economic inequality can lead to unequal access to educational resources and opportunities. So we have to think, within the four alternatives, we have to think about the best answer. So from the four answers, this is the most correct answer. That way we can argue to understand the relationship between education and economic inequality, because it gives the understanding of the power dynamics between different social classes within the educational system. That is the idea here. Now, what is the main assumption of conflict theory in educational sociology? There are four options given. That is, education is a tool of social inequality. Conflict theory in educational sociology assumes that education is a tool of social inequality, as it examines how economic inequality can lead to unequal access to educational resources and opportunities. It seeks to understand the power dynamics between different social classes and how they affect educational outcomes. Now, institutions, education institutions in the academic world. Family. What is the primary purpose of a family? Institutions in the society. So, what is the primary purpose of a family? There are four options. A, to provide financial support. B, to provide emotional support. C, to provide physical support. D, to provide educational support. So, what is the main purpose of a family? That is to provide emotional support. The primary purpose of a family is to provide emotional support, love, and security to its members. It is also a source of stability and continuity in society. What is the most important role of a family? Among the four options, which is the correct one? To provide emotional security. Family is for emotional security, to provide emotional security. The most important role of a family is to provide emotional security and stability to its members. It is also a source of love, acceptance, and understanding. What is the most important role of a parent in a family? Among the four alternatives, which is the correct one? Once again, to provide emotional guidance. Emotional guidance. The most important role of a parent in a family is to provide emotional guidance and support to their children. They are also responsible for teaching their children values and providing them with a safe and secure environment. School. What is the primary purpose of a school? To provide education, to provide entertainment, to provide childcare, to provide socialization. That is to provide education. What is the primary purpose of a school? It is to provide education to students. Schools provide a structured environment for students to learn and develop their knowledge and skills. That is very important. Schools provide a structured, very formal environment for students to learn and develop their knowledge and skills. What is the role of a school in society? There are four options, which is the right one. To provide socialization. What is the role of a school in society? That is to provide socialization, to mingle with others, to interact with others, to, the give and take, to have the sense of give and take, a sense of belongingness in the group. So finally, to provide socialization. Schools play an important role in society by providing socialization opportunities for students. Schools provide a safe and structured environment for students to interact with their peers and learn how to interact with others in a socially acceptable manner. What is the role of teachers in a school? out of the four alternatives options, which is the best one to provide education? Already we have seen. What is the role of teachers in a school? That is to provide education. The role of teachers in a school is to provide education to students. Teachers are responsible for creating lesson plans, teaching students and assessing student progress. What is the role of parents in a school? To provide child care, no doubt about it. No? What is the role of parents in a school? To provide child care. The role of parents in a school is to provide child care for their children. Parents are responsible for ensuring that children attend school, providing support and guidance, and helping the children with their studies. Occasionally they have to meet the teachers of their children and get to know how things are shaping well for their children. So that is also, they need to cooperate with the school authorities, teachers, etc. To provide, in general, to provide child care. That is the role of the parents. What is the role of the government in a school? To provide entertainment, to provide child care, to provide socialization, to provide education. It is to education, to provide education, to give education. The role of the government in a school is to provide education to students. The government is responsible for funding for schools and ensuring that schools are meeting the needs of students. What is the role of the community in a school? There are four options given. A, to provide entertainment, B, to provide child care, C, to provide socialization, D, to provide education. That is to provide socialization. The role of the community in a school is to provide socialization opportunity for students. The community can provide support and guidance to students as well as provide resources and activities for students to participate in. What is the role of technology in a school? That is to provide education. That is the role of technology. The role of the technology in a school is to provide education to students. Technology can be used to enhance the learning experience, provide access to resources, and facilitate communication between students and teachers. What is the role of extracurricular activities in a school? There are four options given. To provide socialization. What is the role of extracurricular activities in a school? To provide socialization, to mingle with others, to get a sense of give and take, all these things, to have the sense of belongingness to the society. That way, to provide socialization. The role of extracurricular activities in a school is to provide socialization opportunities for students. Extracurricular activities provide students with an opportunity to interact with their peers in a safe and structured environment. What is the role of the school in promoting diversity? There are different types of people coming to the school from different backgrounds, from different religious backgrounds, cultural backgrounds, etc. So what is the role of the school in promoting diversity? To provide education. Only through education that diversity could be addressed. The problem of diversity could be addressed. The role of the school in promoting diversity is to provide education to students about the different cultures, beliefs and backgrounds. Schools can provide resources and activities to help students learn about and appreciate diversity. Society. What is the definition of society? What is the definition of society? There are four options given here. Just check, just see for yourself all the four options. What should be the correct answer? A group of people living in the same area and having shared customs, laws and organizations. Society is a group of people living in the same area and having shared customs, laws and organizations. It is a social institution that is composed of individuals who interact with each other and share a common culture. So that is society. What is the meaning of society? It is a group of people living in the same area and having shared customs, laws and organizations. It is a social institution that is composed of individuals who interact with each other and share a common culture. So, very important question, what is the definition of society? Yes. Likewise, what is the definition of culture also we must know. Culture is having particular style of life, food habits, in dressing manner, in their intellectual pursuits, in their travel, etc., etc. All their primary aspects of their life, will be in culture. Likewise, we must know the meaning of society, culture, etc. What is the primary function of society? What is the primary function of society? There are 4 options given. To provide a sense of belonging, B, to provide a sense of security, C, to provide a sense of identity, D, to provide a sense of purpose. What is the primary function of society? To provide a sense of purpose, grip in life. The society should give a grip in life for the people, sense of purpose. The primary function of society is to provide a sense of purpose and meaning to its members. It provides a sense of belonging, security and identity, but its primary purpose is to provide a sense of purpose and meaning to its members. What is the role of government in society? There are 4 options given here. A, to provide a sense of belonging, to provide a sense of security, to provide a sense of identity, to provide a sense of purpose. To provide a sense of security, the role of government in society is to provide a sense of security. It is responsible for protecting the rights of its citizens, enforcing laws, and providing services such as education, healthcare, and infrastructure. So that way it gives the sense of security. The role of government in society provides services such as education, healthcare, and infrastructure. And also it protects the rights of its citizens by enforcing laws and providing different services. What is the role of culture in society? There are 4 alternatives given. That is to provide a sense of identity, that is culture. What is the role of culture in society? It provides a sense of identity to the students. The role of culture in society is to provide a sense of identity. Culture is a set of shared beliefs, values and practices that are passed down from generation to generation. It shapes the way people think, act and interact with each other. What is the role of education in society? There are 4 options given, which is the best one. Role of education in society, that is to provide a sense of purpose. Already we have seen that. The question is repeated now perhaps. The role of education in society is to provide a sense of purpose. Education is a key factor in the development of individuals and societies. It helps to create a more informed and productive population, which in turn leads to economic growth and social progress. So, the role of education is to provide a sense of purpose, meaning. What is the role of technology in society? To provide a sense of purpose again. The role of technology in society is to provide a sense of purpose. Already it has come again. What is the role of the media in society? That's very important. What is the role of media in society? That is to provide a sense of identity about our own culture perhaps. The role of the media in society is to provide a sense of identity. The media plays an important role in shaping public opinion and influencing the way people think and act. It is a powerful tool for disseminating information and creating a shared sense of identity. What is the role of religion in society? What is the role of religion in society? There are 4 options given. It provides a sense of belonging. We belong to a particular group, no? That sense is very important for having a meaningful life. So religion provides a sense of belonging. The role of religion in society is to provide a sense of belonging. Religion provides a sense of community and shared values, and it helps to create a sense of unity and solidarity among its members. Mutual help is offered through such, well-knit groups like a religious group. So that is the idea here. Religion provides a sense of community and shared values. That's very important. What is the role of economics in society? There are 4 options given. What is the right one? To provide a sense of security. That is to provide a sense of security. The role of economics in society is to provide a sense of security. Economics is a study of how people, businesses, and governments make decisions about the production, distribution, and consumption of goods and services. It is an important factor in determining the overall health and stability of a society. Then social movement. Let us, of course, everything is in the syllabus. Latest syllabus only we are giving. So all the topics are there. So we must understand the meanings of such concepts. What is a social movement? Option A collective action by a large group of people to bring about social change. B, a political party. C, a protest. D, a religious gathering. So what is the correct answer for the meaning of social movement? That is a collective action by a large group of people to bring about social change. A societal movement, a social movement is a collective action by a large group of people to bring about social change. It is not a political party, protest or religious gathering. What is the purpose of a social movement? There are 4 options given. To bring about social change. What is the purpose of social movement? To bring about the social change. That is the main purpose. The purpose of a social movement is to bring about social change. It is not to gain political power, spread religious beliefs or create economic stability. So, what is the purpose of a social movement? It is to bring about social change. It is not to gain political power, spread religious beliefs or create economic stability. What is an example of a social movement? There are 4 options given here. All of the above, all are examples for social movement. The civil rights movement, the women's suffrage movement, the environmental movement, all of the above. Examples of social movements include the civil rights movement, the women's suffrage movement, and the environmental movement. What is the difference between a social movement and a protest? What is the difference between a social movement and a protest? What is the correct answer? A social movement is a long-term effort, while a protest is a short-term effort. That is the difference, very important one. The difference between a social movement and a protest is that a social movement is a long-term effort, while a protest is a short-term effort. What is the difference between a social movement and a religious gathering? Just go see for yourself all the 4 options. So what should be the correct answer? A social movement is a political effort, while a religious gathering is a religious effort. So the difference between a social movement and a religious gathering is that a social movement is a political effort, while a religious gathering is a religious effort. Of course, that goes without saying also, but just in order to make our mind alert, we can have such questions anyway. What is the main factor that determines whether collective actions will be successful according to the relative deprivation theory? What is the main factor that determines whether collective action will be successful according to the relative deprivation theory? Of course, the main factor that determines whether collective action will be successful according to the relative deprivation theory is the level of support from other members of the group. That is the idea here. So how much support they are getting from their peer groups, from their own community, that matters a lot with regard to its success. So the main factor that determines whether collective action will be successful according to the relative deprivation theory is the level of support from other members of the group. The group members should support it. That's very important. Resource mobilization theory. What is the main goal of resource mobilization theory? What is the main goal of resource mobilization theory? There are 4 options given. That is to explain how social movements are able to mobilize resources. So that is the idea here. What is the main goal of resource mobilization theory? That is to explain how social movements are able to gain support how social movements are able to mobilize resources, not support, to mobilize resources. Resource mobilization theory talks about resources, money or manpower, anything. So to explain how social movements are able to mobilize resources, resource mobilization theory is a sociological theory that seeks to explain how social movements are able to mobilize resources in order to achieve their goals. It focuses on the resources that social movements have access to, such as money, people, and media attention. What is the main difference between resource mobilization theory and other theories of social movements? What is the main difference between resource mobilization theory and other theories of social movements? So there are 4 options given here. So, resource mobilization theory focuses on the resources available to social movements, while other theories focus on the strategies and tactics used by social movements. So, the resource mobilization theory focuses on the resources available to social movements. So, how to explain this? Resource mobilization theory is a sociological theory that seeks to explain how social movements are able to mobilize or get resources in order to achieve their goals. It focuses on the resources that social movements have access to, such as money, people, and media attention. Other theories of social movements focus on the strategies and tactics used by social movements to achieve their goals. Then political process theory. What is the main focus of political process theory? A. The study of political behavior. B. The study of political power. C. The study of political institutions. D. The study of political culture. What is the main focus of political process theory? That is the study of political behavior. See, these common themes you have to keep in mind. You know, if you keep these phrases or concepts in mind, any number of questions in this aspect, in this heading, in this topic can be easily understood. That is the idea, the study of political behavior. Political process theory talks about the study of political behavior. You know, that you keep in mind, the basic, the theme as such, the key theme in this political process theory, that is a study of political behavior. So the political process theory is a theoretical approach to the study of political behavior which focuses on how individuals and groups interact to influence public policy and politics. So that is the idea here. This is in a way it is a study of political behavior. How this political behavior is shown, how individuals and groups interact to influence public policy and politics. What is the main goal of political process theory? There are 4 options given. What is the main goal of political process theory? That is to understand the dynamics of political behavior. Political process theory seeks to understand how individuals and groups interact to influence public policy and politics, and how these interactions shape the dynamics of political behavior. So finally, political behavior, that's very important with regard to political process theory. New social movement theory. What is the main focus of new social movement theory? A. Cross struggle. B. Identity politics. C. Capitalism. D. Social change. So identity politics. New social movement theory focuses on identity politics, which is the idea that people's identities are shaped by their social and political environment. It emphasizes the importance of collective action and collective identity in creating social change. Once again, let me repeat, what is new social movement theory? New social movement theory focuses on identity politics, which is the idea that people's identities are shaped by the social and political environment. So it emphasizes the importance of collective action and collective identity in creating social change. What is the main difference between new social movement theory and traditional social movement theory? What is the main difference between the new social movement theory and traditional social movement theory? Option A, new social movement theory focuses on collective action, while traditional social movement theory focuses on individual action. So read other options also. That is, a new social movement theory focuses on collective identity, while traditional social movement theory focuses on individual identity. That is the key thing. Other options are really confusing. They are given for distractions, but we must understand the concept as such. New social movement theory focuses on collective identity, while traditional social movement theory focuses on individual identity. New social movement theory emphasizes the importance of collective identity in creating social change, while traditional social movement theory focuses on individual action and identity. What is the main goal of new social movement theory? What is the main goal of new social movement theory? There are 4 options given. New social movement theory, what is the main goal? Its main goal is to create a more equitable society. Just society, in other words, equal sharing, equitable society. So there are 4 options given here. Which is the right one? The main goal of new social movement theory is to create a more equitable society. New social movement theory seeks to create a more equitable society by challenging existing power structures and promoting collective actions and identity. It emphasizes the importance of collective action in creating social change. Then socialization. What is the main purpose of socialization? A, to learn new skills. B, to develop relationships. C, to gain knowledge. D, to become independent. The main purpose of socialization, of course, we know, to develop relationships. Socialization is the process of learning how to interact with others and developing relationships with them. It helps us to understand the norms and values of society and how to behave in different situations. So that is socialization. It helps us to understand the norms and the values of society and how to behave in different situations. What is the most important factor in the socialization process? Most important factor among the 4, I'm sure you will understand the main theme, family. Family is the most important factor in the socialization process, as it is the first place where we learn about our culture, values and beliefs. It is also the place where we learn how to interact with others and develop relationships. Just a minute. Family is the most important factor in the socialization process, as it is the first place where we learn about our culture, values and beliefs. It is also the place where we learn how to interact with others and develop relationships. Then the other thing, another topic given, socialization and education. I think this is the 4th area in the Unit 1. So it talks about some important people and their views on education, social change, etc., etc. So some important persons have been given and we will be studying now. Socialization and education, that is the topic given in the syllabus. Under that we are going to talk about education and culture, contribution of thinkers Swami Vivekananda, Rabindranath Tagore, Mahatma Gandhi, Aurobindo, J. Krishnamurti, Paulo Freire, Walton Croft, Nell Nodding and Savitribai Phule to the development of educational thought for social change. National values as enshrined in the Indian Constitution: socialism, secularism, justice, liberty and democracy, equality, freedom, with a special reference to education. What is the main influence of culture on education? What is the main influence of culture on education? A. Social norms. B. Economic factors. C. Political ideologies. D. Religious beliefs. The social norms. What is the main influence of culture on education? Social norms. Culture has a major influence on education as it shapes the values, beliefs and attitudes of individuals and communities. Social norms are the most influential factor in this regard as they determine what is considered acceptable behavior and what is not. So that way social norms, that influences, in education. The social norms comes from culture, no doubt about it. So culture has a major influence on education as it shapes the values, beliefs and attitudes of individuals and communities. Social norms are the most influential factor in this regard as they determine what is considered acceptable behavior and what is not. How does education influence culture? By providing access to new ideas, B. by creating a sense of community, C. by promoting economic growth, D. by encouraging religious practices. What is the correct answer? How does education influence culture? By providing access to new ideas. Education has a major influence on culture as it provides access to new ideas and knowledge that can shape the values, beliefs and attitudes of individuals and communities. This can lead to changes in behavior and attitudes which can in turn shape the culture of a society. What is the primary purpose of education in a cultural context? Primary purpose of education in a cultural context. Option A, to promote economic growth. B, to teach religious beliefs. C, to foster social cohesion. D, to transmit cultural values. What is the correct answer? Cultural context, to transmit cultural values. That's very important in the cultural context. Education in a cultural context is primarily focused on transmitting cultural values, beliefs and attitudes to the next generation. This helps to ensure that the culture is preserved and passed on to future generations. How does education influence social cohesion? In other words, a social unity. A, by providing access to new ideas. B, by creating a sense of community. C, by promoting economic growth. D, by encouraging religious practices. So how does education influence social cohesion? By creating a sense of community. This is how education influences social cohesion, by creating a sense of community. One group like. Education has a major influence on social cohesion as it provides access to new ideas and knowledge that can lead to increased understanding and acceptance of different cultures and beliefs. This can lead to a stronger sense of community and social cohesion or social unity. Now, Swami Vivekananda, let us talk about something about Swami Vivekananda. What could be the main question for him? What was the main focus of Swami Vivekananda's educational thought? Main focus of Swami Vivekananda's educational thought. Option A, social reform. B, spiritual enlightenment. C, scientific advancement. D, political activism. Spiritual enlightenment, that is the main focus of Swami Vivekananda's educational thought. Swami Vivekananda believed that education should be focused on spiritual enlightenment and self-realization rather than material gain or social reform. He argued that education should be used to develop a person's inner potential and to help them reach their highest spiritual potential. So that is his idea. So, according to him, according to Vivekananda, education should be used to develop a person's inner potential. What is inside? Inner potential, and to help them reach their highest spiritual potential, spiritual powers, in other words. What did Swami Vivekananda believe was the purpose of education? Of course, once again the same answer, to achieve spiritual enlightenment. Swami Vivekananda believed that the purpose of education was to help individuals reach the highest spiritual potential or powers and to achieve spiritual enlightenment. What did Swami Vivekananda believe was the most important factor in education? Once again the same thing, self-realization, right? Spiritual enrichment or self-realization. Swami Vivekananda believed that self-realization was the most important factor in education. He argued that education should be used to develop a person's inner potential and to help them reach their highest spiritual potential. What did Swami Vivekananda believe was the most effective way to promote social change? There are 4 options given. That is spiritual enlightenment. Swami Vivekananda believed that spiritual enlightenment was the most effective way to promote social change. He argued that education should be used to develop a person's inner potential and to help them reach their highest spiritual potential. What did Swami Vivekananda believe was the most important goal of education? There are 4 options given. That is to achieve spiritual enlightenment. Swami Vivekananda believed that the most important goal of education was to help individuals reach their highest spiritual potential and to achieve spiritual enlightenment. He argued that education should be used to develop a person's inner potential and to help them reach their highest spiritual potential or spiritual powers. Then Rabindranath Tagore. What was the name of the school founded by Rabindranath Tagore in 1901? A. Santiniketan, B. Vishwabharati, C. Shantiniketan, D. Vishwabharati. I think 2 times it has come anyway. Vishwabharati is the right answer. That is, the name of the school founded by Tagore in 1901 is Vishwabharati. Rabindranath Tagore founded Vishwabharati in 1901, a university that aimed to promote the synthesis of the Indian culture with the Western ideas. I mean the fusion of the East and the West, that is what they will call it, synthesis, blending of Indian culture with the Western culture, in other words. So, he founded Vishwabharati in 1901. It is a university that aimed to promote the synthesis of Indian culture and Western ideas. Yes. What was the name of the book written by Rabindranath Tagore in which he discussed his educational philosophy? There are 4 options given. A. The Home and the World. B. Gitanjali. C. Nationalism. D. Education and the Significance of Life. Education and the Significance of Life, that is the correct answer. That was the book he wrote. Education and the Significance of Life was a book written by Rabindranath Tagore in which he discussed his educational philosophy. So, the Tagore's educational philosophy has been discussed in the book, namely Education and the Significance of Life. What was the name of the movement started by Rabindranath Tagore to promote social reform? There are 4 options given. A. Swadesi movement, B. Propsi movement, C. Swaraj movement, D. Pragrati movement. Answer: Propsi movement. The Propasi movement. The Propasi movement. The Propasi movement was a movement started by Rabindranath Tagore to promote social reform. What was the name of the journal founded by Rabindranath Tagore to promote his educational philosophy? That is Propasi. Propasi was a journal founded by Rabindranath Tagore to promote his educational philosophy. What was the name of the book written by Rabindranath Tagore in which he discussed his views on nationalism. So the book Nationalism. There are four options given: the home and the world, Gitanjali, nationalism, education and the significance of life. So nationalism is the book, in which he discussed his views on nationalism. So nationalism was a book written by Rabindranath Tagore in which he discussed his views on nationalism. What was the name of the book written by Rabindranath Tagore in which he discussed his views on religion? That is Gitanjali. Gitanjali was a book written by Tagore in which he discussed his views on religion. Mahatma Gandhi. What was the main idea behind Mahatma Gandhi's concept of education? A. To promote self-reliance. B. To promote religious education. C. To promote industrialization. D. To promote social change. So what is the correct answer? To promote self-reliance. Mahatma Gandhi believed that education should be focused on developing the individual's self-reliance and self-sufficiency rather than on providing them with the skills for a specific job. What did Mahatma Gandhi believe was the most important element of education? Knowledge, character, discipline, creativity. Character. Mahatma Gandhi believed that character was the most important element of education and that it should be developed through a combination of physical, mental and spiritual training. What did Mahatma Gandhi believe was the most important element of social change? That is action. What did Mahatma Gandhi believe was the most important element of social change? Action. Not deeds but actions. Mahatma Gandhi believed that action was the most important element of social change and that individuals and communities should take action to make positive changes in their lives. Then Aurobindo. What was the main focus of Aurobindo's educational thought? Option A, to promote social change. B, to promote spiritual development. C, to promote economic development. D, to promote political development. See, that is to promote spiritual development. The main focus of Aurobindo's educational thought will be to promote spiritual development. Aurobindo's educational thought was mainly focused on promoting spiritual development and self-realization rather than on social, economic or political change. He believed that education should be used to help individuals reach their highest potential and to develop their inner spiritual life. What did Aurobindo believe was the purpose of education? A, to promote economic development. B, to promote spiritual development. C, to promote social change. D, to promote political development. That is to promote spiritual development. Aurobindo believed that the purpose of education was to help individuals reach their highest potential and to develop their inner spiritual life. He did not believe that education should be used to promote economic, social and political change. J.K. Krishnamurti. What was the main focus of J.K. Krishnamurti's educational thought? A, social change. B, economic development. C, cultural transformation. D, political reform. Social change. J.K. Krishnamurti was a prominent Indian educational thinker who focused on the use of education as a tool for social change and transformation. He believed that education should be used to empower individuals and communities to create a more equitable and just society. So he talks about social change. The main focus of J.K. Krishnamurti's education that was social change. J.K. Krishnamurti was a prominent Indian educational thinker who focused on the use of education as a tool for social change and transformation. That is the key element with regard to his idea, with his philosophy. So education should be helpful for to bring about the social change and transformation in the society. So he talks about empowering individuals and communities to create a more equitable and just society. What was J.K. Krishnamurti's view on the role of education in society? A, education should be used to maintain the status quo. B, education should be used to promote economic growth. C, education should be used to empower individuals and communities. D, education should be used to create more hierarchical society. So what should be the correct one? What was J.K. Krishnamurti's view on the role of education in society? Education should be used to empower individuals and communities. J.K. Krishnamurthy believed that education should be used to empower individuals and communities to create a more equitable and just society. He argued that education should be used to promote social change and transformation rather than maintaining the status quo. Then Paulo Freire. What is the name of the book written by Paulo Freire that is considered a cornerstone of critical pedagogy? A. Pedagogy of the oppressed. B. Pedagogy of the poor. C. Pedagogy of the educated. C. Pedagogy of the elite. So what is the correct answer? What was the name of the book written by Paulo Freire that is considered to be the cornerstone of critical pedagogy? That is Pedagogy of the Oppressed. Paulo Freire's book Pedagogy of the Oppressed is considered a cornerstone of critical pedagogy. It is a book that explores the relationship between education and social change. What is the main idea behind? அம்மா அமைதியாக இருக்க சொல்லுப்பா, சத்தம் ரெக்கார்ட் பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கனா இல்லையா? அந்த பிள்ளைகளை அமைதியாக இருக்க சொல்லு, அதை போக சொல்லாங்க, அதை தள்ளி போக சொல்லு. What is the main idea behind Paulo Freire's concept of critical pedagogy? A. To teach students to think critically. B. To teach students to be obedient. C. To teach students to be passive. D. To teach students to be rebellious. What is the correct answer? To teach students to think critically. So, Paulo Freire's concept of critical pedagogy is based on the idea of teaching students to think critically and to question the status quo. It is a form of education that encourages students to challenge the existing power structures and to think for themselves. So once again I say it's a very important concept. Paulo Freire's concept of critical pedagogy is based on the idea of teaching students to think critically and to question the status quo. It is a form of education that encourages students to challenge the existing power structures and to think for themselves. What is the main goal of Paulo Freire's concept of critical pedagogy? There are four options: to create obedient citizens, B. to create passive citizens, C. to create critical citizens, D. to create rebellious citizens. So what is the correct answer? To create critical citizens. Once again I say about the critical pedagogy of Paulo Freire. The main goal of Paulo Freire's concept of critical pedagogy is to create critical citizens who are able to think for themselves and challenge the existing power structures. It is a form of education that encourages students to think critically and to question the status quo. What is the main contribution of Paulo Freire to the development of educational thought? What is the main contribution of Paulo Freire to the development of educational thought? A. To create obedient citizens. B. To create passive citizens. C. To create critical citizens. D. To create rebellious citizens. That is to create critical citizens. That is the main contribution of Paulo Freire to the development of educational thought. To create critical citizens. Paulo Freire's main contribution to the development of educational thought is his concept of critical pedagogy, which is based on the idea of teaching students to think critically and to question the status quo. It is a form of education that encourages students to challenge the existing power structures and to think for themselves. What is the main focus of Paulo Freire's concept of critical pedagogy in relation to social change? A. To create obedient citizens. B. To create passive citizens. C. To create critical citizens. D. To create rebellious citizens. To create critical citizens. The main focus of Paulo Freire. அம்மா அம்மா இங்க பாரு எப்பா அம்மா ஏமா கத்திட்டே கிடையாது ஒரு போக சொல்லுமா முடிஞ்சிருச்சுல ஒரு கிளாஸ்ல போய் சொல்ல போகணும் என்னமா ஸ்டடினா அமைதியாக இருக்க சொல்லு. ஸ்டடி நேரத்தில் இப்படி கேட்டு அமைதியாக இருக்க சொல்லு. நான் ரெக்கார்ட் பண்ணி முடிச்சிடுறேன். To create critical citizens. The main focus of Paulo Freire's concept of critical pedagogy in relation to social change is to create critical citizens who are able to think for themselves and challenge the existing power structures. It is a form of education that encourages students to think critically and to question the status quo. That is what's happening now. No? Sometimes students are asking questions. Why the hell you are doing this and we are free? No? There is a possibility some students will think like that. In a way it is good. No? It comes under critical pedagogy of Paulo Freire. What is the main goal of Paulo Freire's concept of critical pedagogy in relation to social change? That is to create critical citizens. I already explained to you. What is the main contribution of Paulo Freire to the development of educational thought and social change? Paulo Freire's main contribution to the development of educational thought and social change was his concept of critical pedagogy. Critical pedagogy is an approach to education that focuses on developing critical thinking skills in students as well as empowering them to take action in their own lives and communities. This approach emphasizes the importance of dialogue between teachers and students and encourages students to question and challenge the status quo. How did Paulo Freire's ideas influence the development of educational thought and social change? Paulo Freire's ideas had a profound influence on the development of educational thought and social change. His concept of critical pedagogy encourages students to think critically about the world around them and to take action in their own lives and communities. Additionally, his ideas helped to challenge the traditional notions of education, which often focused on rote memorization and obedience to authority. What is the difference between Paulo Freire's approach to education and traditional approaches? The main difference between Paulo Freire's approach to education and traditional approaches is that Freire's approach emphasizes the importance of dialogue between teachers and students and encourages students to question and challenge the status quo. Traditional approaches, on the other hand, often focus on rote memorization and obedience to authority. Then Mary Wollstonecraft. Mary Wollstonecraft is a lady who has contributed something for education. What was it? Let us see. What was Mary Wollstonecraft's most influential work on the development of educational thought? Mary Wollstonecraft's most influential work on the development of educational thought was her book. One book she wrote, a very revolutionary book. The book name is this: A Vindication of the Rights of Woman. A Vindication of the Rights of Woman. For the rights of woman, she speaks. Published in 1792. In this book, Mary Wollstonecraft argued that women should be educated to the same level as men and that they should be given the same rights and opportunities as men. She argued that education should be based on reason and that it should be tailored to the individual rather than simply following the traditional model of education. How did Mary Wollstonecraft's work contribute to social change? Mary Wollstonecraft's work contributed to social change by advocating for the rights of women and challenging traditional gender roles. She argued that women should be educated to the same level as men and that they should be given the same rights and opportunities as men. Her work helped to inspire the feminist movement and paved the way for greater equality between men and women. What was Mary Wollstonecraft's view on the importance of education? What was Mary Wollstonecraft's view on the importance of education? Mary Wollstonecraft believed that education was essential for the development of an individual and for society as a whole. She argued that education should be based on reason and that it should be tailored to the individual rather than simply following the traditional model of education. She also argued that education should be accessible to all, regardless of gender, class, or race. What was Mary Wollstonecraft's most famous work? Her book is A Vindication of the Rights of Women. A Vindication of the Rights of Women. Mary Wollstonecraft's most famous work is Vindication of the Rights of Woman, which was published in 1792. This work is considered to be one of the earliest work of feminist philosophy and argued for the equality of women and men. Mary Wollstonecraft's most famous work is the Vindication of the Rights of Woman. What did Mary Wollstonecraft believe was the key to social change? Education. Mary Wollstonecraft believed that education was the key to social change. She argued that education should be available to all, regardless of gender, and that it should be tailored to the individual's needs and interests. What did Mary Wollstonecraft believe about the role of women in society? Women should be subservient to men. Women should have the same rights as men. Women should be educated and not allowed to work. Women should be educated and not allowed to vote. What is the correct answer? Women should have the same rights as men. That is her plea. That's her demand, in fact, in the book. Mary Wollstonecraft believed that women should have the same rights as men, including the right to education, the right to work, and the right to vote. She argued that women should be treated as equals in all aspects of society. What did Mary Wollstonecraft believe about the education of children? Children should be educated in the same way as adults. Children should be educated according to their gender. Children should be educated according to their class. Children should be educated according to their interest. Since she talks about the gender role, especially she is favoring women, gender role. Gender role should be given to the children itself. Children should be educated according to their interest. Mary Wollstonecraft believed that children should be educated according to their interests and abilities rather than according to their gender or class. Very sorry, this is the correct one. What did Mary Wollstonecraft believe about the education of children? No gender, no religion, no. It should be, according to the interest, any boy or girl should be given. That is the idea. Children should be educated according to their interest. Mary Wollstonecraft believed that children should be educated according to their interests and abilities rather than according to their gender or class. She argued that education should be tailored to the individual's needs and interests rather than a one-size-fits-all approach. What did Mary Wollstonecraft believe about the role of marriage in society? A. Marriage should be abolished. Marriage should be encouraged. Marriage should be based on mutual respect and equality. Marriage should be based on economic necessity. What is the correct answer? What did Mary Wollstonecraft believe about the role of marriage in society? Marriage should be based on mutual respect and equality. Mary Wollstonecraft believed that marriage should be based on mutual respect and equality rather than economic necessity. She argued that marriage should be a partnership of equals rather than a relationship of dominance and submission. Very nice one. What did Mary Wollstonecraft believe about the role of religion in society? A. Religion should be abolished. B. Religion should be encouraged. C. Religion should be used to control people. D. Religion should be used to promote morality. So what did Mary Wollstonecraft believe about the role of religion in society? Religion should be used to promote morality. Mary Wollstonecraft believed that religion should be used to promote morality rather than to control people. She argued that religion should be used to teach people to be kind and compassionate rather than to enforce obedience or submission. What is the main contribution of Nell Nordings? We are going to the next personality, Nell Nordings. Nell Nordings also is a lady. What is the main contribution of Nell Nordings to the development of the educational thought? A. She developed the concept of care ethics. B. She developed the concept of critical pedagogy. C. She developed the concept of constructivism. D. She developed the concept of behaviorism. So what is the correct answer? She developed the concept of care ethics. Very important. Care ethics is part of Nell Nordings. Nell Nordings, as soon as we talk about Nell Nordings, immediately, care ethics should come to one's mind. Care ethics. Care ethics means caring for others out of compassion, sympathy, interest, love, affection, all these things combined together. Care ethics. Nell Nordings is the best known for her work in care ethics, which she developed as an alternative to traditional ethical theories. She argued that care should be the basis of moral decision making rather than abstract principle or rules. What is the main focus of Nell Nording's work? That is carriers, that you must keep in mind. Each person will have a particular theme. That phrase you should keep in mind, then any number of questions we can answer. Care ethics. Nell Nording is best known for her work in care ethics, which she developed as an alternative to traditional ethical theories. She argued that care should be the basis of moral decision making rather than abstract principles or rules. What is the Nell Nording's view on the role of education in social change? What is Nell Nording's view on the role of education in social change? There are four options. Education should be used to promote social justice. Education should be used to promote critical pedagogy. Education should be used to promote constructivism. Education should be used to promote care ethics. So what is the correct answer? Education should be used to promote care ethics. Nell Nording argued that education should be used to promote care ethics, which she argued should be the basis of moral decision making rather than abstract principles or rules. She believed that education should focus on developing caring relationships between teachers and students, as well as between students and their peers and their friends. What is Nell Nording's view on the role of teachers in the classroom? Teachers should be carers. They should be caring for their children. That is the understanding. So teachers should be carers. Nell Nording argued that teachers should be carers rather than authoritarian figures. She believed that teachers should focus on developing caring relationships with their students, as well as fostering a sense of community in the classroom. What is Nell Nording's view on the role of students in the classroom? A. Students should be passive. B. Students should be critical thinkers. C. Students should be constructivists. D. Students should be carers. Students should be carers. Nell Nording argued that students should be carers rather than passive recipients of knowledge. She believed that students should focus on developing caring relationships with their peers, with their friends, as well as fostering a sense of community in the classroom. What is the main contribution of Nell Nording to the development of educational thought? She developed the concept of caring. And again the same idea will come in different questions. Nell Nording is best known for her work in developing the concept of care ethics, which emphasizes the importance of caring relationship in education. She argued that care should be the primary focus of education rather than knowledge or skills. How did Nell Nording view the role of teachers in education? As nurturers of relationship. And the teacher should be nurturing, should be developing relationship with the students out of empathy, affection, care, concern, etc. So how did Nell Nording see the role of teachers in education? As carers of students or as nurturers of relationships? Nell Nording argued that teachers should be seen as nurturers of relationships. In other words, those who grow, develop relationships, they are called nurturers. Nurturers of relationships rather than simply as sources of knowledge. She argued that teachers should focus on creating caring relationships with their students, which would lead to better learning outcomes. What did Nell Nording believe was the primary purpose of education? To promote social justice, to develop critical thinking skills, to foster caring relationships, to impart knowledge, to foster caring relationships. Nell Nording argued that the primary purpose of education should be to foster caring relationships between teachers and students. She argued that these relationships were essential for creating a positive learning environment and for promoting student success. How did Nell Nording view the role of education in social change as a vehicle for transformation? Nell Nording argued that education should be seen as a vehicle for transformation rather than simply as a tool for reform. She argued that education should be used to create meaningful change in society rather than simply to maintain the status quo. Just a minute, I am coming. There is an urgency. Sorry for the interruption. Sorry for disturbance. Very sorry that I have taken a longer time, but there was some serious discussion now. I had to go there. What did Nordics believe was the most important factor in creating a successful learning environment? That is a supportive teacher. Nordics argued that the most important factor in creating a successful learning environment was having a supportive teacher. She argued that teachers should focus on creating caring relationships with their students, which would lead to better learning outcomes. Savitri Phule. Next one. What was the main contribution of Savitri Phule to the development of educational thought and social change? A. Establishing the first school for girls in India. B. Establishing the first school for not lower caste. You should not say that. The oppressed class of children in India. I mean, they were not made. They were not lower. No, they were made lower. That is the idea here. So better, we should never use such words in common forums, even in questions, everything. It is a serious crime nowadays. Lower caste, there is no lower. How can somebody is a higher caste? It's a stupid thing to happen in the society because of our habits or because of our religious beliefs or whatever it may be. There is no lower caste. Very sorry that I myself have put that word. Establish the first school for oppressed children in India. That way you can say. Oppressed means those who are made lower. They were not lower. No, they were all right. They were made slaves. That is the history of India. So establish the first school for oppressed children in India. Establish the first school for women in India. What is the correct answer? Establish the first school of this oppressed children in India. Savitri Phule was a pioneering social reformer in India who is credited with the establishing the first school for lower caste children and once again oppressed children in India in 1848. This was a major contribution to the development of educational thought and social change in India. What was the main focus of Savitri Phule's educational reforms? That is promoting gender equality. Savitri Phule was a pioneering social reformer in India who is credited with the establishing the first school for oppressed children in India in 1848. Her main focus was on promoting gender equality through education, and she was a strong advocate for women's rights and education. What was the main impact of Savitri Phule's educational reforms? A. Increased literacy rates. B. Increased economic development. C. Increased social mobility. D. Increased political participation. That is, increased social mobility. Savitri Phule's educational reforms had a major impact on social mobility in India as they enabled Dalit and tribal children to gain access to education and thus increase their chances of upward social mobility. This was a major contribution to the development of educational thought and social change in India. Socialism. What is the meaning of socialism as enshrined in the Indian Constitution? There are 4 options given. Socialism is a system of social organization that advocates the ownership and control of the means of production and distribution by the community as a whole. Socialism, as enshrined in the Indian Constitution, is a system of social organization that advocates for the collective ownership and control of the means of production and distribution by the community as a whole, rather than by individuals and the government. What is the meaning of secularism as enshrined in the Indian Constitution? That is, secularism is a system of government that promotes a religious neutrality and separation of church and state. Secularism, as enshrined in the Indian Constitution, is a system of government that promotes religious neutrality and separation of church and state rather than religious freedom, unity, discrimination, or intolerance. What is the meaning of justice as enshrined in the Indian Constitution? Justice is a system of laws that ensures fairness and equality for all citizens. Justice as enshrined in the Indian Constitution is a system of laws that ensures fairness and equality for all citizens rather than the protection of the rights of the wealthy powerful or privileged. What is the meaning of liberty as enshrined in the Indian Constitution? Liberty is a system of government that allows the citizens to exercise their rights without interference. Liberty is a system of government that allows citizens to exercise their rights without interference. Liberty, as enshrined in the Indian Constitution, is a system of government that allows citizens to exercise their rights without interference, rather than with restrictions, limitations, or impunity. Impunity means punishment. What is the meaning of democracy as enshrined in the Indian Constitution? Democracy is a system of government in which people have the power to elect their representatives. Democracy, as enshrined in the Indian Constitution, is a system of government in which the people have the power to elect their representatives rather than appoint, overthrow, or control them. What is the meaning of equality as enshrined in the Indian Constitution? Equality is a system of laws that ensures equal rights and opportunities for all citizens. Equality, as enshrined in the Indian Constitution, is a system of laws that ensures equal rights and opportunities for all citizens rather than privileges, protection, or benefits. So, it's a system of laws that ensures equal rights and opportunities. What is the meaning of freedom as enshrined in the Indian Constitution? That is, freedom is a system of government that allows citizens to express their opinions without fear of retribution, without fear of revenge or punishment. Freedom, as enshrined in the Indian Constitution, is a system of government that allows citizens to express their opinions without fear of retribution, rather than with restrictions, limitations, or impunity. How does the Indian Constitution promote education with a special reference to national values? How does Indian Constitution promote education with a special reference to national values? That is, the Indian Constitution promotes education by providing free and compulsory education for all children up to the age of 14. The Indian Constitution promotes education with a special reference to national values by providing free and compulsory education for all children up to the age of 14, rather than for all citizens, adults, or students. How does the Indian Constitution promote equality with a special reference to education? The Indian Constitution promotes equality by providing equal access to education for all citizens, regardless of gender, caste, religion, or economic status. The Indian Constitution promotes equality with a special reference to education by providing equal access to education for all citizens, regardless of gender, caste, religion, or economic status, rather than race, ethnicity, social class, age, ability, nationality, language, culture, or political beliefs. How does the Indian Constitution promote freedom with a special reference to education? How does the Indian Constitution promote freedom with special reference to education? That is, the Indian Constitution promotes freedom by allowing citizens to pursue any educational path they choose without interference. The Indian Constitution promotes freedom by allowing citizens to pursue any educational path. The Indian Constitution promotes freedom with a special reference to education by allowing citizens to pursue any educational path they choose without interference, rather than with restrictions, limitations, or immunity. What is the meaning of the term secularism as enshrined in the Indian Constitution? That is the separation of religion and state. Secularism is a principle that is enshrined in the Indian Constitution, which states that there should be a separation between religion and state, and that the state should not be influenced by any particular religion. What is the meaning of the term justice as enshrined in the Indian Constitution? That is equality before the law. The justice means equality before the law. Justice is a principle that is enshrined in the Indian Constitution, which states that all citizens should be treated equally before the law, regardless of their religion, caste, gender or any other factor. What is the meaning of the term liberty as enshrined in the Indian Constitution? What is the meaning of the term liberty? The right to privacy. Liberty is a principle that is enshrined in the Indian Constitution, which states that all citizens have the right to privacy and that their personal information should not be shared without their consent. What is the meaning of the term democracy as enshrined in the Indian Constitution? The right to vote. Democracy is a principle that is enshrined in the Indian Constitution, which states that all citizens have the right to vote and to participate in the political process. What is the meaning of the term equality as enshrined in the Indian Constitution? That is equality of opportunity. Equality is a principle that is enshrined in the Indian Constitution, which states that all citizens should have equal opportunities to access education, employment and other resources, regardless of the religion, caste, gender or any other factor. What is the meaning of the term freedom as enshrined in the Indian Constitution? The right to freedom of speech. From the four we have to choose. There will be general meanings also, but then from the four options, you have to take the correct one. So that way, the right to freedom of speech is the meaning of the term freedom here in this question. Freedom is a principle that is enshrined in the Indian Constitution, which states that all citizens have the right to express their opinions and beliefs without fear of censorship or persecution. What is the importance of education in upholding the values enshrined in the Indian Constitution? Education helps to promote equality. Education is an important tool for promoting the values enshrined in Indian Constitution, such as equality, justice, liberty and democracy. Education helps to ensure that all citizens have access to the same opportunities and resources, regardless of their religion, caste, gender or any other factor. What is the constitutional provision for free and compulsory education for children in India? That is 21A of the Indian Constitution. Article 21A of the Indian Constitution provides for free and compulsory education for all children between the ages of 6 and 14 years. This provision was added to the Constitution by the 86th Amendment Act of 2002. 86th Amendment. This, Article 21A of the Indian Constitution provides for free and compulsory education for all children between the ages of 6 and 14 years. This provision was added to the Constitution by the 86th Amendment Act of 2002. What is the constitutional provision for the promotion of educational and economic interest of the weaker sections of society? That is Article 46 of the Indian Constitution. Article 46 of the Indian Constitution provides for the promotion of educational and economic interest of the weaker sections of society. This provision was added to the Constitution by the 42nd Amendment Act of 1976. What is the constitutional provision for the establishment of a common school system in India? There are four. Article 45 of the Indian Constitution. Article 45 of the Indian Constitution provides for the establishment of a common school system in India. This provision was added to the Constitution by the 42nd Amendment Act of 1976. What is the constitutional provision for the promotion of educational and economic interest of scheduled castes and scheduled tribes? Article 46 of the Indian Constitution. Article 46 of the Indian Constitution provides for the promotion of educational and economic interest of scheduled castes and scheduled tribes. This provision was added to the Constitution by the 42nd Amendment Act of 1976. Article 46 of the Indian Constitution, it provides for the promotion of educational and economic interest of scheduled caste and scheduled tribes. What is the constitutional provision for the promotion of vocational and technical education in India? That is 51A, Article 51A of the Indian Constitution. Article 51A of the Indian Constitution provides for the promotion of vocational and technical education in India. This provision was added to the Constitution by the 86th Amendment Act of 2002. What is the constitutional provision for the promotion of adult education in India? That is Article 45 of the Indian Constitution. Article 45 of the Indian Constitution provides for the promotion of adult education in India. This provision was added to the Constitution by the 42nd Amendment Act of 1976. What is the constitutional provision for the promotion of education among the minorities in India? Article 30 of the Indian Constitution. Article 30 of the Indian Constitution provides for the promotion of education among the minorities in India. This provision was added to the Constitution by the 42nd Amendment Act of 1976. What is the constitutional provision for the promotion of education among the backward classes in India? Article 46 of the Indian Constitution. Article 46 of the Indian Constitution provides for the promotion of education among the backward classes in India. This provision was added to the Constitution by the 42nd Amendment Act of 1976. What is the constitutional provision for the promotion of education among women in India? That is Article 39 of the Indian Constitution. Article 39 of the Indian Constitution provides for the promotion of education among women in India. This provision was added to the Constitution by the 42nd Amendment Act of 1976. What is the maximum number of students that can be admitted in a single classroom in India? 30. According to the Right of Children to Free and Compulsory Education Act 2009, the maximum number of students that can be admitted in a single classroom in India is 30. What is the minimum number of teachers required for a school with more than 200 students? 20. According to the Right of Children to Free and Compulsory Education Act 2009, the minimum number of teachers required for a school with more than 200 students is 20. What is the minimum number of working days in a school year in India? That is 190. According to the Right of Children to Free and Compulsory Education Act 2009, the minimum number of working days in a school year in India is 180. Thank you very much, dear friends. God bless you abundantly. Kindly subscribe in case you haven't done it. I consider it as a great value for me video. If you find this useful, kindly subscribe my video. Thank you for your presence here. God bless you abundantly. Let us meet in other video lecture. Actually, I have given all the topics, all the subheadings in Unit 1 of education, that is educational studies. Now we will go for the next one, Unit 2, and then we will give all the necessary questions that I have already planned. God bless you abundantly, dear friends. Let us meet in other video lectures.